And we're following developing news this morning. Police say a Balcones Heights police officer was killed just after ending his shift.
Yeah, the off-duty officer was gunned down outside a tattoo parlor late last night. Jenny Suniga has been following this story and joined us more with the investigation. Jenny, good morning.
Good morning. San Antonio police are still trying to sort this whole thing out. We do know that right now they are looking for two men that left in a late model sedan. In the meantime, we're learning more about Officer Julian Pesina. Sadly, he left behind a young child. He was shot and killed just minutes after finishing his shift. If you take a look at his Facebook page, we have photos from there. You can see he had a real passion for tattoos. We're told the tattoo shop was a favorite hangout of his. The Balcones Heights police chief says the officer was a tattoo artist and spent the majority of his time there at that shop, which is believed that he was a co-owner of. Now, according to his Facebook page, he attended Southside High School. As for the investigation, the shooting happened around 10 last night at a tattoo parlor in the 300 block of Shady View Drive off Hillcrest. San Antonio police again are handling the investigation. They tell me Officer Pesina, a 7-year veteran of the department, had just walked out of the shop when two masked men, both armed, one with a 12-gauge shotgun, the other carrying 9mm handgun, approached the officer and started shooting. Investigators say the officer was shot 6 to 9 times, although we counted about 14 markers for shell casings on the ground. Officer Pesina was taken to University Hospital where he died an hour later. Now, even though this was San Antonio's jurisdiction, Balcones Heights police officers responded to the scene, about 3 of them I'm told, and immediately realized the victim was one of their own. Balcones Heights police chief says his men tried to revive Officer Pesina until EMS arrived.
It's very difficult. It's one of the worst things that we ever go through. And it's one of the hardest jobs that we have to do is to investigate a crime scene that involves one of our own. So it's very traumatic, emotionally and physically.
Police would not say whether or not this was a planned attack or a random shooting. It's not clear if any words were exchanged before the shooting, but we're told that the officer did not have time to pull out his gun, which he did have on him. San Antonio police say the gunman took off in a late model sedan. There were 2 witnesses that were taken downtown for questioning, but police say they weren't able to give them a good description of the shooters. Investigators are still looking for those gunmen. Now, Chief Dominguez says grief counselors are on hand. As you can see, they've already lowered their flags to have staff. Officer Pesina, they're going to have grief counselors on hand to help these officers deal with this tragic loss. This is a very small, close-knit department, only 21 officers. Chief Dominguez says that if there is evidence that shows that this was some sort of retaliation for either an arrest or suspects that Officer Pesina may have been in contact with, his department will be involved in that investigation. Reporting live, Jenny Suniga, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.